Hi, and welcome back. It is day 4 of our September 2024 4-day challenge here at the 90-Day Guide for Success. My name is Jennifer Britton. I'm the author of the 90-Day Guide for Success, which is the second book in the Reconnecting Workspaces series. And what's exciting and what's actually sort of prompted this challenge this month is the launch of the 90-Day Card Deck. Deck 1, which covers days 1 through 30. So you can scan that QR code, find out more about it. But what I'm excited about is that it takes this phenomenal book, which is geared for people who are onboarding and reboarding in the world of work, or for people who want simply a sprint. And what it allows us to do is really get into that daily focus so that we can take daily steps and consistent action to create momentum. The 90-Day Guide for Success covers a wide range of topics in these 9 areas, from ways of working, you as a worker in today's evolving workspace, skills, the context of work, your team, time management, tools, relationships, and of course, the iceberg of work. Originally, it was geared for remote professionals, but I think in today's evolving workspace, we all need support. So I like to say, what if you had a coach in your hand every day? Because unlike a book that you need to lug around or have on your desk, bring in and out of the office, which is great. And I would say there are dozens, if not hundreds, of leaders who have been using this and continue to use this with their team, because it is a guide where people are encouraged to actually work through exercises in the book on these 90 days of areas. My intent with this 4-day challenge is to take you inside the content, but also do it in our phone, because what is interesting and useful is it's now available on Deckable. So I want to see what you've experimented with this week. We are going to go and continue to do a demo. So hopefully by now you've made your way over to Deckable. I will head back so that you can scan this QR code in the bottom right and scan that. That's going to take you to this deck. Now, depending on if you've used Deckable before, you might actually have a 3-day trial. I hope that you'll actually download the app and pick this as your 3-day trial. You can choose at the end if you want to buy deck 1, or maybe it's the Activate Your Group and Team Coaching Superpower deck that you want to try out instead. Now, we are going to go into Deckable. So once you've downloaded the app and you have it open, I just want to do a bit of a review of what we've done this week, because it really has been about experimenting. And as you'll see here on my app, and I'm going to stop my share so that I'm a little bit bigger and you can see it wider. We started this challenge 3 days ago. And on the 9th of September, I picked a card randomly. That card was all about networking. And if you want, you can go back to the day 1 challenge. We talked about the different apps that are available here. What is interesting and what you'll see record of is my journaling. And I think for us as busy professionals, being able to go back to see what we wrote about, what we thought about a few days earlier is absolutely critical. So that shows up on your timeline, whatever you did. You can also add to it. Day 2, we actually went a little bit deeper. We went into the actual focus of this. And what was interesting as we went into day 2, I also talked a little bit about some of the principles of the card and work today. We talked about the first 2 being daily steps and consistent action, creating momentum, and keeping it simple. I'd like to address areas 3 and 4 today, which is the fact that this resource has been geared generically to role and function. So you don't have to be a leader. You don't even have to be a new employee to add benefit or get benefit from either the book or the card deck on Deckable. You might be an entrepreneur. And I would say for solopreneurs, this is an ideal resource. In fact, in fall of 2021, when I launched the book, I took a group through the actual 90-day guide. We met every morning, 7:30 to 8 a.m. Numbers were very big at the start, but even after 90 days, we still had half a dozen people show up consistently. And their feedback was amazing, because as entrepreneurs, they saw the impact of all of these different areas. And that's where it really lines up with number 4 principle, where I write everyone in the evolving workspace, especially the hybrid and remote workspace, needs skills and leadership capability. So as an organization here at Potentials Realize, our mandate is to ripple out the coaching conversation to many. We also do tremendous amount of work over the last 2 decades and continue to do work around leadership development, entrepreneurship, and teamwork. So really 3 legs of the stools. I hope that you found some great value in this because every day we do want to have this focus. Just to recap, and I'll invite you to go back to day 2 to check this out. You can view these videos on YouTube. We also talked about VUCA, but not only VUCA, which is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, but we also talked about this newer framework of BANI. So if you haven't heard about BANI, I'm going to invite you to go back and take a look at that video. Everything that we've done is here and it's going to remain here. So you're going to see, I've been using this really since October of 2023 when I was introduced to this in a challenge. And I thought, wow, this really can radically change the way we're engaging with content. And to me, as an educator, that's critical. We don't have time. We don't have a lot of people who really just want to keep lugging the book around. So you're not going to get everything in the app that you have in the 90-day guide. But the final piece that I want to spotlight, as we saw yesterday in our focus, is yes, both book and card deck have our weekly focus. So the weekly focus we randomly picked up yesterday was the week 2 theme of connection. And what's wonderful with all of these card decks that I'm designing right now is there's a video, typically 1 to 2 minutes. So it's short. It's going to sync over and you'll hear me talk about the tip. I can't do that in a book. And I think my ability to be able to work with you in that asynchronous space is certainly something I'm really proud of. Last night we launched, so I partook in being a part of a group this spring and summer to launch the decks. As I mentioned, I've got the 90-day guide for success deck. If you head to Deckable, you'll also see another deck that I created, which is the Activate Your Group and Team Coaching Superpower deck. I will say what is interesting is this is the first of many decks because certainly for me as a practitioner, as a professional, I don't have time to read books anymore, even as an author, unless I'm doing work. But what I do have time, whether I'm on the treadmill, whether I'm on a walk, whether I'm just here at my desk and finding 5 minutes, is I do have time to grab my phone and take a look at a daily prompt and a daily reflection. And that's truly how things have been built. So let's get into our focus for today. I'm going to bring open the app. We've been doing quick draws quite a bit. I want to do something a little bit different today. So I'm going to go to a blank canvas. I'm going to go free form. And let's see, I'm going to just shuffle. So the cards are shuffling here. We haven't done the shuffle. That's sort of fun, right? It looks like this card wants me to really grab it. So let's grab that one. And I'm going to go play. Okay. So I have 5 cards that I'm going to drag here today. And we're going to go just randomly pull them on. First card, ooh, focus and attention. What are you focused on? Interruptions abound, from meetings to notifications to ... making focus and attention critical. Dr. Gloria Mark found that it can take 22 minutes to regain your focus when you are interrupted. So some antidotes to chaos and lack of focus, because maybe it feels like chaos. Return to your values to focus on what's important. Know what is good enough. Have a peer partner, coach, or other accountability partner to explore these blocks and keep moving. Or even just take a break, go out for a walk. So what are you doing? Maybe you're picking from the strategies today. Again, this is card 27. I can make it bigger and I can really zoom into it. And I can think about, out of these 6 different options, what do I want to practice today? So that, of course, gets me thinking about the journal. I'm going to get you to open the journal. I've got my strategies and focus for attention. And a couple of things that I'm going to do today. I'm going to practice zooming in to the focus on what needs to be get done today. Today is one of those rare days where I don't have any calls, but I do have a lot of work that I need to catch up on. I was supposed to be out of town today, but I have had to cancel that trip And that's okay because I really do want to get some traction on things. So I'm going to work in bursts. And what that means for me is I'm going to set my timer. I have a little timer. I set it for usually 30-minute rounds. And usually I just keep going because I'm in that flow. I also always think about my body rhythm. The circadian rhythm is a key thing for me. I have to say, most of you know that I am typically up quite early, although in the summer I have been experimenting with sleeping in a bit because I am needing to recharge. So, what that means is like today, got up a bit early, but not too early, got some things done around the house, looked at my schedule, and even for an open day, I was like, I could totally go out. But then I realized there's really three main buckets of work in addition to this. And so, to just charge me up to get me going, headed to the gym and more importantly, got 50 laps of swimming in before this in the sunshine. It's a beautiful day. So I've given myself the goal that I'm going to work until probably 2 o'clock. That'll be 5 key hours of work. And I'm going to go out, do some errands because I am working through tomorrow and Saturday. So, given that, I'm going to give myself the gift of an early afternoon. Hope to catch some late day sunshine to get that vitamin D and vitamin C up in my body. And that'll be it for the day. So, what are you doing? And I hope that you will really look at your journal entry for today. It is quite interesting. And if you are doing any planning processes, use this. So maybe you have a copy of Coaching Business Builder or Plan Do Track. I will be doing a quarterly reflection in a few weeks here at Potentials Realized in our Coaching Biz Growth Lab. And I'll be inviting people, if they have had the app, to actually go and pull it out because you're taking some notes, which is key. So that is our first part of Arrange. I'm going to save it to the timeline. And again, you can experiment with the blank canvas. I would say that there are some really fun other ways. We didn't get into it, but I'm committed in doing this to actually take you into another 4-day sprint in the month of October. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. Please take a minute if you're interested in getting on the mailing list, because I am going to be doing some additional resources for those of you who have signed up. So for you, what have you experimented with this week? That is the key question. I'm going to go back to, you can find the deck on Deckable. And one other piece is you're going to want to scan this other QR code to get over to Constant Contact and our mailing list. One thing that I will send you is when you sign up, it hasn't gone out yet, but I'll go out at the end of the week, is a PDF copy of the daily checklist so that you can check it off. I am working today. One of my 3 buckets of work today is to put the finishing touches on deck number 2. So this is the actual layout of the deck. I have a few more days to do, a few more areas to feed in. I would love your feedback because I'll be designing these next 2 decks. It's going to be very similar. And the idea is that you can grab one deck, you can grab all the decks. They will be available also for purchase in a physical form. I've just ordered them. They'll be arriving, I believe, between the 17th and 20th. So later next week, I'll have the physical card decks. And as you saw me in the video, it's really fun. It's like a tarot size card. So similar to this, they will come in an interesting packaging. If you are in parts of North America, they're going to come in a tin can. And I really like the way they look. So with that, thank you for joining me. Again, what are the areas that are most important to you? Whether you choose to go for the app or maybe you have simply the book, I challenge you to pick 3 cards for the rest of the week and to really dive deeply. We've touched on, interestingly, some of my favorites here, but there's much, much more. So stay tuned. Please share this with your colleagues. Please share this with your clients as well, because this is not just a tool. If you're a coach, this is for leaders. This is for new employees. As a leader, this is something you may opt to bring into your team meeting. It's really fun. And one thing we haven't leveraged this week, but I would say if you're an Apple user, Because this is an app, if you're using Zoom, you can do an AirDrop, you can do an Air Connect to it on your tablet and see it even bigger. So maybe you're bringing it into your team meetings as well. You can find the book on Amazon. You will be able to find the card deck digitally on deckable.com. You'll download that as an app onto your phone, whether it's Apple or Android. And finally, think about getting yourself a set of the physical cards because they really are quite stunning. The coloring of this whole process, as you can see here with some of the printouts, makes for a really beautiful spread. And you've been seeing those as we've been going. So here they are. I want to thank you. Each of the decks will have 30 days of tips in the 9 key categories. You don't have to be a remote worker. It covers anyone in the evolving workspace, including, as I said, entrepreneurs. So my name is Jennifer Britton. Thank you again. Follow along on Instagram at 90 Day Guide for Success. I'm just starting to build this out, but I'm committed to putting some interesting elements there every week, every day, at least every work day. And we'll see you soon for a challenge in October 2024. All right. Be well, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.